Filthy.
Welcome to another episode of the Prolific Perspectives podcast. Today, I have on for the second time the founder of the CEO Experience, Mr. Andrew Ware. How you doing? Good afternoon, Mr. Ware. How you doing today?
Man, living a dream. You hear me? Living a dream.
Absolutely.
Excited.
I already know for sure. So we got a big event coming up pretty soon at the University of South Florida in September. And so I wanted to kind of get into that with you. But before we get into the actual event, I wanted to kind of pick your mind and pick your brain about the power in leveraging relationships. I know throughout your career and throughout what you've done with the CEO experience, you have been able to bring on some very powerful forces in the financial industry and the financial world to be a part of the CEO experience, as well as be a part of you in collaboration with your brand. So for this upcoming event, can you kind of share how you've been able to build such a powerful network in terms of relationships, as well as how you've been able to leverage the relationships that you've built within your network in order to grow your brand and to make your CEO experience a success?
With honor and a pleasure. Look here, just glad to be on the one of the number one podcasts that's on the planet. So
Yes,
super,
sir.
super excited. It's all about relationships. At the end of the day, it's not about degrees. It's all about who you know.
Right,
And when you get to know who's out there, the next thing is making sure that you say and do the things that you say.
right.
Whatever it is that you say, you got to make certain that you're going to be held accountable and do those very things. And I'm super, super excited. Our sponsorships are endless. And I'm just honored we got actually some of the number one brands on the planet. You know, we
Right,
got JP Morgan Chase. We even got Suncoast. Suncoast in Florida, they're number one in Florida. There's no one can touch them.
right.
When you're talking about a credit union, they're number one. And the cool thing about it is we even got a really nice surprise. We got a young lady that owns her own Allstate. She's
Mm.
an Allstate agent, and she came on as a sponsor to kind of talk about how she's winning all these awards and just killing the game.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, for the most part, the CEO experience is for, I would assume, everyone, but it's primarily targeting the entrepreneurship and the business owner space, correct?
That is absolutely correct. So if you are a business owner and you happen to be in within the area of Tampa, Clearwater, St. Pete, Orlando, Bradenton area, even Jacksonville, or perhaps you can get on a plane and come be with us. It's about bringing CEOs together to collaborate with other CEOs because what I found in the past is we want to grow, but you don't know what you don't know.
Right,
And it's going to be through partnerships and collaborations. Remember, this narrative about competition, there's no competition.
right.
The essence of moving forward is it's about through collaborations. And I've created this concept, which is a platform, which is called the CEO experience.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a powerful platform. I must say that myself. One of the things that I know we spoke about is when you're talking about entrepreneurship and business ownership, a lot of people don't have access to capital, whether it's people who've already started their businesses or people who are looking to start their business. One of the biggest things I feel like is a hurdle or a roadblock for people is finding capital and getting access to capital. So what I've seen is based off of who you have as your sponsors and some of the guests who are going to be a part of the CEO experience, I do see that you have Jay Galt organization coming in, and they're there to speak about how to kind of create access opportunities for access to capital, as well as building, I guess, business credit from utilizing the business credit to get capital with just based off of the EIN. So, do you want to kind of get into that a little bit about how you're going to help people with that?
Absolutely. You know, a lot of business owners have not really transitioned from the personal to the business side, and they're losing. They're losing sight of really how one grows one's brand, and it's going to be from that business side of what a business does. Let me just give you a quick example.
Mhm.
Let's say that you have a salary that you're making $80,000 to $100,000,
Uh-huh.
right? That's your salary.
Right.
If it's on the personal side, you can only get credit for $80,000 to $100,000.
Right.
But if your business is doing $3.5 million or $1 million, you ready for this? Wait for it. You have access of being able to get the capital up to that 1 million or that $3.5 million line of credit.
Right.
So it changes the entire game. So you're not limited on how one grows one's brand,
Right.
and being able to not just coexist, but at the end of the day, you want to make a profit, right?
Absolutely.
So we give through these sponsorships, we're going to be able to add value, content, but most importantly, you'll be able to actually put a person to a particular brand that you could actually reach out to find out more information about their goods and their services.
Right. And so it creates that opportunity for building relationships, leveraging relationships is kind of like what the theme of the show is. And that's a real thing. So now you also have the Tampa Bay Black Business Investment Corp, and we spoke about them as well. They also have a program where they are providing capital to business owners and entrepreneurs. Is that correct?
Andre, you're exactly right. So the Black Business Investment Corp actually been around since 1987. They've been here a minute, and it's almost as if like they're a secret.
Right.
You're able to get a loan where going through the traditional banking, they may have denied you. You're able to go to the Tampa Bay Black Business Investment Corp, and they're able to give you a loan that can make a difference, whether you're going to either expand or perhaps even close the doors. So I certainly would suggest all you listeners that's out there, go to Google and type in the Tampa Bay Black Business Investment Corp, better known as BBIC. You also have a BBIF. They're put in place for Black-owned businesses to get the capital to expand their brand.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We definitely need it. That's one of the biggest things that I deal with a lot of my clients, what I deal with in consulting, is getting access to capital, because even people who already have established businesses, a lot of us don't know how much alternative funding is out there. And if we don't know about it, how can we get access to it? So I feel like that's one of the things that I appreciate about the C.E.O experience, bringing to the Black community, here in the Bay Area, because it gives opportunities to people who would normally not have opportunities to not only build relationships, but to get access to capital. And then you also have Chase. JP Morgan Chase is coming in as a sponsor. And I believe at the last event, they had a personal, I can't remember what his position was, but he wasn't somebody who was opening doors for people at Chase. It was a young brother there, very sharp brother.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, so you got Chase coming in. So can you kind of share a little bit about what Chase is bringing to the table for the C.E.O experience?
Love to. So the gentleman's name is Tarad. So Tarad, what's kind of cool about him is he runs about 7 or 8 different branches. And he goes in to make sure that the service and whatever they're doing for any of their clients is second to no one. Remember, at the end of the day, JP Morgan Chase, y'all listening out there, just know they're number one. Number one in the United States when it comes to all that they do, whether that's banking, private banking, investments, or anything that they do. And at the end of the day, JP Morgan Chase has made it extremely easy for one not to even have to go into the branches. You get a check from someone, you right from your phone, you can go and deposit that and it hits your account.
Right.
So having JP Morgan Chase to come talking, they're going to actually talk a little bit about how that small business owner can set up private banking and give them some tools on how they could actually grow and enrich their brand.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And then, so now with that, you also have, man, you got some heavy hitters in this thing, man. I'm looking forward to seeing how this all unfolds in September. You want to share a little bit about the Small Business Development Corporation who's going to be there as well?
So the Small Business Development Center, a lot of y'all are sleeping on them. Right. Don't sleep on them.
Right.
So if you have an idea and you want to be able to get funding, you want investors to be intrigued, to kind of see your ideas, you can go to the Small Business Development Center. They can put your business plan together. They can set your projections, realistic projections. They can do all of that. And also, you can get your personal coach at no cost to you because the taxpayers have paid for those services. I think it's time for all of us that are in business to have a coach because one doesn't know what one knows. Because at the end of the day, I once heard when you're in the picture, you can't see the frame.
That's facts. That's big facts.
So there you go.
Big facts. I believe I first heard that from Brother Les Brown. You can't see
all day. Indeed. Yes.
That's real.
Yes.
That's what's up. And so now you also said Suncoast is going to be a part of it too. I had the opportunity to meet, I cannot remember the sister's name, but she was
Galeen.
Yeah, I got her card right here. She's
yes.
she's the enterprise development specialist. So she's going to be a part of the event as well.
Yeah, because they're going to cover that whole micro lending component. Let me expound a little bit what micro loans are about.
Okay.
Micro loan starts when a small business can get a loan as low as $25,000.
Uh-huh.
$25,000, $75,000. So those are called the sweet spots. And the sweet spots makes it such a difference because you may not need that $250,000 or $1 million.
Right.
So this gives you an opportunity to get that loan for 25, 50, 75, because a lot of the banks aren't going to give you those smaller loans. They want the larger loans because that's how they're going to be able to make a profit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what's up. So that they have a special program specifically for the smaller loans that entrepreneurs and business owners may need.
It's really tailored to what it is your needs are. And the cool thing about it is, as you start having some activity through your credit unions, what's cool about it is you don't really have to ask them for an increase on your line of credit. Automatically, when they see it, you'll start seeing some increases. They'll notify you and say, hey, we see that you got some activity here. If it's okay with you, we'll go ahead and give you an increase. And man, let me tell you, anytime you can have an institution that's there to make sure and to assure you that you have the tools to be successful, you can't do it no better than that.
That's facts. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, they just is what they say, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, you got to go as a team. I believe it's
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Gotta have a team, man. You gotta have a team. That's real. And there's no stronger part of the team, in terms of business, is having investors or those who have capital who can kind of give you access to capital to grow. Then we also have, I see we have, what is it, Heart? How did Heart get involved with the C.E.O. experience, and what role are they going to play with the event?
Yeah, good question. So I used to call them Heartline, but it's just Heart Transportation. When you see these buses that's picking up so many people in order to get them to their destination, Heart right now is getting somewhat, you would think, to say it's a transition. They're wanting to do a little bit more with the public. So they actually reached out to my platform and said, hey, we'd like to be a part of it to kind of re-explain some of our products and our services and see how some of these business owners can come in as, you ready? As vendors.
Wow.
So they're looking for Black-owned businesses to be a part of some of their services and to grow their brand.
That's what's up.
One zip code at a time.
I like that. So now when you say be a part, like being vendors, like how does that, can you kind of bring clarity, like how does that work in terms of, say if I wanted to promote my business in my consulting firm with Heart, how would I go about doing it, or how would that work out? Would I be able to like put like marketing material on the side of the bus, or would they have like maybe on the inside of the bus they'll have like flyers and marketing material? How would that relationship work for us as small business owners?
And exactly. So they'll actually have a specialist that will be able to articulate. But what I'm thinking is, let's say that you are a mechanic, right? And you could come in as a vendor servicing their buses. Let's say that you have a car wash, right?
Right.
They need those buses clean, right?
Yeah.
That might perhaps be a service.
Hmm.
It could be so many other things that they're going to explain that they have needs for.
Gotcha.
Because remember, when we're talking about part, part being the transportation system, that whole ecosystem, there's so many other layers that they're going to be able to share with us how we as a vendor can be a part of their brand moving forward.
Wow, I never even thought about that, but that's brilliant. Man, that's yeah. Because if you think about it, I know several brothers who have detail businesses. It's a lot of things. I know several mechanics, so it's like a lot of things I didn't even think about until you said that. But definitely for sure, my family run that by one of my brothers who has a details and see if he wants to kind of pick up some type of deal or contract with them with that because that's huge. Considering like they have a fleet. Whew, they got hundreds of buses in their fleet, man. So you talking about if you
They
pick
do,
that up
sure.
as a details business, you doing it. Okay. I see another name on here I'm not very familiar with. Is it Velarde Financial Center?
Yeah, so Velarde Financial Services is they decided to transition. Those two individuals that are partners used to be part of Raymond James Financial Group.
Ah,
They decided that it's time for them to step out and to kind of grow into their own wings. So I'm super, super excited. And they're gonna make some things happen. They called me and said, "Hey, we see the kind of platform that you have. We want to be on it and kind of explain some of the benefits in having experts
right.
to kind of grow, grow your money. Not only just growing your money, but oftentimes it's all about the information that could really change the landscape of one's future."
That's big facts. Information changes situations for sure. That's what's up.
Yes, absolutely.
So one thing that I love and I appreciate every time we have conversations, we talk about the power of positive thinking. That's something that I know that you have been able to, use to your advantage. That's been an asset in your toolbox. Can you kind of share how and why you always choose to go at everything that you do with that positive mindset and having that positive, energy, in terms of the way you move and how you do things? Because I remember talking to you a couple of weeks ago, a couple of days ago, and you were speaking about how you don't know no strangers and how you talk to everybody. But I feel like a lot of us don't know how powerful that can be just by having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? It could be a complete stranger, but you never know that one conversation can change the trajectory of your life, your business, your financial future, et cetera, because you don't know what you don't know. And one thing we both, I feel like, would agree with in business, it's never been about what you know. It's always been about who you know. So can you kind of share how you've been able to use that as a fuel and as a tool for yourself?
Absolutely. At the end of the day, just remember this: energy is never lost, it's transferred.
Right.
So whatever you put out in the universe is what you get back.
Hmm.
And the very people that you think is going to be there to support you may not necessarily be there.
Right.
So what it is you got to tell the entire universe. That's everyone that's part of the universe. And when you put good things out, it just has to come back. And I'm telling you, man, there's something that I do that makes a difference. And I'll make this short and sweet. 3 times a week, I pay for somebody's breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Hmm.
I remember this young lady that was in line with me. I wanted to pay for her meal. She was not feeling it. She said, hey, she had her own money. I was like, hey, cool. So what I decided to do is I was leaving to go next door to the bank.
Hmm.
I walked out and she stopped me and she said, sir, why did you want to pay for my meal? And I said to her, because you matter.
Hmm.
In a matter of 8 seconds, Andre, she was in tears.
Wow.
She said to me, I have a grandson. My grandson looks just like you. His
Wow.
father looks just like you. Before meeting you today, I thought that every young man and older man that looked like you were deadbeats.
Hmm.
You wanting to pay for my meal changed my entire trajectory. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to go and meet my grandson for the very first time. Because my grandson did not choose to come into this world.
Right.
And that love that I've denied my grandson for 8 months, it's going to change because of you and because of your love of wanting to do something for me has changed my entire perspective. Oh man, it doesn't get any better than that.
Nah, that's dope, man. Like for real, like that's powerful because I've seen and experienced those types of situations. But you just don't know. You never know who you can uplift. You never know who you can touch. You never know who you can empower. Through a simple kind gesture. There's been times when I've talked to people where they might have been at the point where they was ready to end it all. You never know. And then you find out months later or years later about where that person was in that space at that time. And because you did something so simple by being able to, give a gesture of just paying for a meal, like you could have changed the trajectory of not only her life, but the life that she has with her son and her grandson for,
Exactly.
to come. You know what I'm saying? So that's powerful, man. I love the fact that you live by what you say in terms of energy. Energy is a real thing. That's real.
So speaking of energy and speaking of experience, September 22nd, 2023 is going down.
Absolutely.
We're going to be at the USF campus on East Fowler at the Spectrum building. The CEO experience is all about CEOs coming, but our platform is all about separating the idea that you're just doing whatever it is that you do. That evening, it's all about celebration.
That's what's up.
It's about every single person in the room gonna actually speak to you. When the last time that ever happened? Wherever you go, right?
Right.
Everybody just wants to talk to you.
Right.
So we've created this experience and it completely sells out. I'm super excited. I'm kind of honored because this will be our very first time being on campus at USF on East Fowler. We're going to be in the Spectrum building and we're probably looking at about 230 in attendance. That's 230 business owners that will be over at the Spectrum building collaborating together.
And I'm gonna tell you that what makes it even more powerful. That's 230 opportunities. That's gonna be
Come on, say it.
like 230
yes, sir.
opportunities because you just like I said,
right.
we don't know. But and getting ready to go into closing, I know that we spoke off air about the keynote speaker that you have coming in. And I know that this brother is doing some very powerful things. So do you want to kind of let the people know who's coming in and what he's about and what he's coming to bring to the CEO experience?
So one of the most vital things of having a platform is you have to make sure that you add value to the attendees.
Right.
So I'm very meticulous about every single keynote that I pick. And right now, it's perfect because Miles Alexander III is a Black developer. Let me explain, all you listeners out there. In the commercial industry, it's less than 5% that are Black. He is in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Atlanta, and also in Dallas, Texas. Let me tell you, he's going to be able to give us some gems and some nuggets that will change our entire trajectory. Because let me just say this. When the last time you were in your car, you were driving around the city and you see all these projects and you're not a part of any of those?
Right.
He's going to talk about that because remember, he is a Black developer that do phenomenal things. And I'm super excited to get an opportunity to speak with him. We also have a gentleman by the name of Thomas Huggins. He's the CEO of Area Group. He is a consultant for the airport, Tampa Airport. He's a consultant for Channelside. He's a consultant for anything that happens downtown, Midtown, and also there's a project that's called the Hannah Project. He's one of the consultants that making that happen. He's one of the sponsors that's going to make this happen. So we are super excited to be able to get some of this knowledge and for all of us to say, how can we be a part of what's happening within our community, one zip code at a time, instead of after the fact and say, man, I wish I would have known or perhaps invested in that project. So, man, look, I'm humble, I'm grateful, and I'm just living a dream. Love doing what I do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. I love it too. I love the opportunity to talk about it. And I definitely love the opportunity to be in the building, man, because it's definitely a real experience. And I think the name says it all, the CEO experience. Being in the business, like, it's one thing to hear it, it's one thing to see it on the flyer. But for me personally, like, to experience it, that's a whole nother level, because it's like it's one thing to see a group of people in a building together and doing things, but it's another thing to see a group of Black people in the building with all love and all positivity and everybody doing the damn thing. Like, that's
Doing the damn thing. Come
like,
on, just doing
you
it.
got a
That's
separation
right.
with that, man, with the
That's right.
CEO experience, for real. So I definitely appreciate it. I appreciate you and all that you do. And I'm looking forward to the opportunity, Brother Ware, for sure. And then I'm trying to think. I think we hit everybody as far as the sponsors. Is there anybody else that you want to highlight, or anybody else that you want to kind of tap up
Yeah,
to and touch
yes,
on?
it's yeah, this it's one more, which is the Lacey Home Design.
Got you.
They do custom kitchens, fireplaces, closets, bathrooms. They're going to be there to talk a little bit about if you ever wanted to perhaps change your bathroom, change something, because as you well know, housing right now is super, super expensive. And a lot of us don't really appreciate or like the cost of CDDs and HOA fees.
Right.
So you can stay right where you are and have that custom kitchen, bathroom, and kind of change the scenery around you and say, man, this is what I'm talking about. So again, we got the Lacey Home Design, that is one of our sponsors, that will be there. But most importantly, I want to make sure that I share this.
Mhm.
If it's anyone out there that you have your own business or perhaps considering on having your business and you'd like to purchase a ticket, you can actually email me. You can email me at Ware, that's AWARE 9351 at gmail.com. That's AWARE 9351 at gmail.com. And I'll send you a link, because let me tell you, September 22nd, we're setting it off.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna make some history, and all of our sponsors and all the anticipated attendees, we're gonna make it do what it do, baby.
Yes, sir. And listen, I'm gonna put the link too. I'm gonna put the link to the tickets. If you can send me the link, I'll put the link to the tickets underneath the program description.
I'll certainly get that. I'll certainly get that over to you. So we need to put that out there, because at the end of the day, until we can realize that we have to celebrate one another, because in closing, I want you all to remember, I said this. I want everybody to come in. No other distractions. I want you to hear this. We are social beings. So it's time for us to socialize. Let's get to it, and let's just do the damn thing.
That's it. That is it. That is it. That's it. I'm looking forward to it, man. I definitely appreciate you taking the time to drop in and to drop your prolific perspectives on the CEO experience. And I'm looking
Thank
forward
you, sir.
to making it do what it do and doing the damn thing, man.
That's right.
Absolutely. So I appreciate you. So I'll definitely be in touch. And for all the listeners out there, we definitely appreciate the love and the support. And for those who are going to be in the Central Florida area on September 22nd, you'll be able to click the link in the show description to get your ticket to the CEO experience. And we look forward to seeing you all out there. We definitely look forward to building, to growing, and making this year be prolific, to be specific. I appreciate you, Mr. Ware.
And lastly, the time is from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Yes, sir.
And look, we're gonna make it do what it do. And I just want you to just come out and feel proud that you're a CEO, and you don't have to ask for permission anymore. We're gonna give notice and just do the damn thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
And one last thing too, I was telling my barber about the event yesterday. I showed him some pictures from the last one. He's like, "Man, y'all was cleaning that there." I said, "Yeah."
Oh
I
yeah,
said,
come
"Yeah,
on,
brother."
clean it in
Said,
the Board of Health.
everybody coming
Yes,
fresh to
sir.
death. So you
Yes,
definitely want
sir.
to come
Yes,
correct,
sir.
because you're gonna see it on both sides of the
Yes.
The men and the
Yes.
women coming, they're coming strong, man. So it was a beautiful thing to see, Black excellence at its finest.
Well said. Couldn't have said it any better than you, Andre. Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure, man. Love your podcast, and we're gonna do some great things.
Absolutely.
We're gonna change. We're gonna actually change a lot of lives, one zip code at a time, together.
Big facts. Looking forward to another episode of the Prolific Perspective podcast. And we thank you all for tapping in and joining in. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe. And ladies and gentlemen, we out. Peace.